Hey everybody, welcome to Review with Me, your review guide of shows, movies, and everything in between. Be sure to click the like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with this review. Hey, we are back with another review episode. We are reviewing The Never Ever Mets, Season 2, Episode 5. Let's get into that. This show was amazing. Hello? This show is amazing. I need you to watch it right now. Just pause me right real quick. Watch the episode. Watch the whole 4, 5 episodes that's been out and get back on here because every episode, you guys, I am thoroughly entertained. Like I have yet to be disappointed. Every episode ceases to amaze me. I am so pleased with this show, with this season. Oh Lord, these people. Okay, so we are on season 2, episode 5 of Never Ever Met. It starts off with Charlie FaceTiming her 2-week-old baby. FaceTiming her 2-week-old baby. Okay, I'm kidding. The baby's not 2 weeks. Sorry. 2 months. Okay, fine. 6 months. But that's literally the oldest. That's the oldest I could give it. The baby, she just popped out this baby talking about I had to be here at this house because I feel like it's worth it. I feel like what me and Jared has, it's worth it. Okay, girl. She says she's feeling homesick. But again, she feels like this whole experiment is worth it. And what she has with Jared really is worth going through this experiment for. So we cut to Irvin. Oh Lord. Y'all know how I feel about Irvin. Oh God. I'm so happy this nigga's gone. Anyway, Irvin's in the kitchen and he's venting. He's going off to a few of the other housemates about Alicia, his girl in this house. And he's saying how she weaponizes her health. I feel like, you know how some people or everybody really, when they learn a new word, that's all they say. You weaponizing your health. Spell it. Spell the word. You use it so much, spell it and define it. But I mean, she does weaponize her her health. But anyway, anything this nigga does, I'm annoyed with. I don't care how accurately he uses a word. I'm annoyed. But Alicia's annoying too. But Irvin, again, I have a bias against Haitian men. So let's start there. But anyway, Alicia does weaponize her health against him. She'll say things like, she won't take accountability for her actions. Instead, she'll make it seem like, oh, my body just doesn't want to get up right now. Yet she was ready and able to get up and do yoga with somebody else in the house, but she didn't want to do anything with Irvin. Irvin says he has yet to have a full kiss with her. And this speaks to her again, weaponizing her health, because she'll say things like, why are you sleeping in the bed with me? Why are you trying to sleep? He'll say, I just want to get close to you. I just want to get close to you. I just want to get to know you. I just want to be in your presence. We're finally in this house close to each other. Considering this show is about not ever meeting the person you've been dating for however long and only talking to them and seeing them virtually. So he just wants to get close to her. She's not having it. She's like tucked under the covers. He's over the covers. She's like, nigga, get away from get away from me with this Apollo. That is Alicia. She has yet to give him a full kiss. And here's the thing with Haitian men. No doesn't mean no. So even though, yes, I do see how Alicia is giving him like a hard, cold front. I do see how she weaponizes her health, but I want to highlight the point of Haitian men not accepting no. Yeah. I want to highlight the point of Haitian. Let me do my Dr. Umar. I want to highlight the point of Haitian men not accepting no as the final, the first, the secondary, the answer. So there's no such thing as boundaries. There's no such thing as I'm not comfortable yet. And even though Irvin said in earlier episodes talking about I'm on your time, I want to make sure you feel comfortable. Okay, so what does it matter? She hasn't kissed you on the lips, nigga. First of all, can you put some lipstick on? I mean, not lipstick, but can you put some chapstick on? Every time I see this guy's lips, it's dry as hell, chapped as hell. So anyway, he's talking about, yeah, she doesn't kiss me, she doesn't suck my dick, she doesn't stroke me off, she doesn't, because I'm not into you. How about that? Brandon comes into the kitchen. So Alicia walks into the kitchen. I don't know if she heard anything of what Irvin was saying about her, but I meant to put this picture. Well, I'll put it up in a second because I have some images from the episode. Okay, so we'll get to that. So she walks in. She doesn't speak to anybody. She does beelines or whatever. Was it A line or B line? She goes straight to the tea corner where she could get her little tea bags. And Brandon, the guy who's with Kiki, he says to her, Hey, Alicia, I just want to let you know, I know today's a new day, but I just want to apologize. Brandon, I'm feeling how he moves. I'm feeling how he moves because he didn't need to apologize, honestly, because Alicia was in the wrong last episode when she got into his business and tried to tell him what to do. But anyway, he apologized to her in front of everybody, which was a nice move too, because you embarrassed me in front of everybody. I'm going to apologize to you. Even though it was warranted for him to react to her the way that he did, he still felt as though it was inappropriate the way that he spoke to her. I mean, he didn't call her out her name or anything like that, but I guess his tone, he felt like wasn't deserving and very unbecoming of a man to speak to a woman. Nonetheless, I respect it. I really do. Brandon didn't need to, but he felt he needed to, and I respect that. What does Alicia do? Instead of just accepting it and moving on, just saying thank you, I really appreciate that, she then goes in some more saying, I felt cornered, I felt victimized, I felt cornered, you were yelling at me, you were like, more of this victim mentality with her health weaponizing ass. So anyway, we get to Irvin. He finally says to her, as she's totally ignored, mind you, she walked into the kitchen, gives this nigga no eyesight, no head nod, no what up, bro. She doesn't give a damn about this man. Irvin asked her if we could talk. Can we talk? So we take them outside. We see them outside. Let's go ahead with this photo here. Make sure you are following me on YouTube. Well, yeah, in order to hear this, you can only see it on YouTube. I'm not uploading it on Spotify or anything, but here they are. Okay, they're outside, just them two on the lawn, and Irvin always got this stank look, just like, is something in your nose? Why are you always everything? Granted, Alicia is annoying. I get that. But Irvin also is annoying too. Irvin has to stick up his ass. Irvin doesn't really know how to make things fun or make things light. So even though in the midst of Alicia being annoying, Irvin doesn't help. He doesn't try to diffuse the situation by being funny, by trying to like tease her or be flirtatious or anything. He's very weird. That's the best way I could describe him. He is very weird. So let's get into this conversation. I wish I could play the clip. I don't want to get copyrighted or anything, but I'm gonna do my best to describe. Excuse me, to describe what's going on. Irvin's talking to her. Irvin's talking to Alicia. He's saying how he is not happy in this relationship and does not want to continue being with her. He is excited to go home, and basically he's breaking up with her, right? But not only, it's one thing to break up with someone, it's naturally an uncomfortable conversation. But what I don't like, what people do, some people do it, and when men do it, it's the worst. It's when they bring God in it. He brought God in the breakup. He says to her, he feels like, I just don't think God wants me to be in this relationship. God told me to break up with you. He also mentions how he got a phone call the day before he came on the show. He got a phone call from his ex-girlfriend, who he dated 5 years ago. Super random. And he's saying how he was so shocked from this phone call because, well, I don't understand why she would call me. But he's like hyping up his ex-girlfriend so much so that why the fuck aren't y'all together then? If you love your ex-girlfriend so much, if you're realizing, or if you realize then how emotionally mature your ex-girlfriend allegedly is, because that's what he's saying to Alicia. He's telling Alicia, yeah, my ex, she has such emotional intelligence. He's saying key things that he obviously feels Alicia doesn't have. Granted, Alicia doesn't have emotional intelligence. That's true. But you being slick and shady by bringing up this random ex from 5 years ago who randomly hit you up talking about what? We don't even know what she said. Why is she hitting you up? But he brought her up to slice at Miss Alicia, okay? He's slicing at her, letting her know my ex has more emotional intelligence than you. Me and her, we're on the same wavelength emotionally. Okay. Alicia's heavy breathing right now. You know, Alicia's super dramatic. She's like, she starts shaking. Then Irvin goes on to say, I don't want to be your friend. Before he even says that, he says, I don't see us together, but we could be friends. Then he says, I don't want to be your friend. Alicia tries to speak, and he's like, why are you getting so hot? Why are you getting so hot? Like, why are you getting so mad? Nigga, because you're taking forever, because he starts off the conversation right after he breaks it off with her, and Alicia is agreeing. She is totally acquiescing, like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think it's good for us to break up. I don't think this is working out. He goes on to say, there's just nothing left. There's just nothing left for me to say. And then he goes on to say what is left to be said. He goes on to say his ex from 5 years ago called him. We don't know what she said to him. And that was a sign that he took from God. He's like, maybe this is a sign from God that I shouldn't be here. So they finally stop talking. They finally go off. Alicia's talking about toxic. Like, she's clearly annoyed. They finally walk off, right? Irvin goes back to the kitchen. Let's show this pivot. Yo, Jamie Foxx right here. This is Jared, y'all, okay? Jared, who looks like Jamie Foxx. Irvin is telling the rest of the house, telling them, well, most of them, because not everyone was in the kitchen, but he's telling them about this exchange between he and Alicia and how he thinks it's for the best for him to not be here anymore. So he's packing up and leaving. Then he goes on to explain the whole ex situation. He said how, First, he started off with what he told us and what he told Alicia in the previous scene. He said how, yeah, someone who I cared about very deeply, she reached out to me. And he's like, well, actually, she didn't really reach out to me. She liked a picture of me and my sister on Instagram. And I was surprised. And I took that like as a sign from God. He said she liked the picture of his sister who just got engaged, and he felt like that was a sign from God because she liked this picture and God is telling him this is the one you supposed. What are you talking about? It was so ridiculous, you guys. Jared's looking at him like, nigga, what? Everyone is being so respectful. I can't. I would have been like, he was looking at him like that. Cinco was looking at him like that. Well, not Jared. Well, Jared too. But Brandon was looking at him like that. Everyone was like, what? But instead of saying what, because my younger self, I would say exactly what I would think, right? I would think something like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, wait, what? And instead of just kind of going with the flow and following the lead of everyone else, I would verbally announce my confusion. After you grow up, right, you realize, oh, you gotta learn how to read the room and then talk about this person behind their back. Anyway, Jared is laughing his ass off in the confessionals. He's saying how he had to do his best to keep from laughing in Irvin's face because Irvin's story wasn't adding up. It didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Cinco kept saying during that whole kitchen talk, he's telling Irvin, yeah, she don't like you, bro. She don't like you, bro. He was telling her very clearly, she doesn't like you. Move on. Then Irvin goes on to start crying like a little bitch. This nigga starts crying out of nowhere because what are we doing? What are you crying for? You broke up with Alicia. You came to this conclusion yourself. You got an ex who's allegedly waiting for you. What you crying for? Irvin starts crying. He's doing this long convo. We finally cut to Alicia, who's packing, and Kiki is with her, and Brittany is with her. Alicia said something funny. She said, he's probably still talking to them right now. And then we cut back to Irvin, and Irvin is indeed still talking to the rest of the house in the kitchen. It was so funny. So finally, Cinco and Jared break away from everyone in the kitchen. They're in this other area in the house. Irvin, I thought he was being maybe low-key shady because he walked by them and then he pointed to Jared. He's like, I'm sorry for making you cry, man. But he kept holding his eye contact. And Jared said in response, he's like, man, yeah, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. Whatever he said. So I don't know he really meant that. I don't think he did because Jared, at least they didn't show Jared crying. And the way that Irvin turned and looked at Jared really made it seem like he knew Jared was laughing at him and he wanted to let him know that he knew that. It was just funny because, yeah, sir, you make no sense. They're laughing at you because you make no sense. And they're not falling for your, oh, woe is me. I'm so sad now. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy or not. I feel like both of them aren't suited for each other. And that's that. But as far as Irvin trying to appear as this victim, no, bro. No. You crying for what? Alicia says she'd rather meet someone in person before she dates. So she's no longer interested in this type of dating situation as far as dating virtually anymore. We get to Brittany. Brittany is talking to other folks in the like Ty is here for everybody but her. And we know this from last episode when she expressed these emotions Then Jared, with his great advice, his great wisdom, his Jamie Foxx ass, he says to her, I think you should talk to him. I think y'all should talk. He's so wise. He is so wise. So the house is on their way to, oh yeah. So by the time, just to make it very clear, Irvin and Alicia, they're out the house. They're gone. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Who am I, Nene? Bye. Bye. Okay, so we got everyone in a car. They're heading to this improv spot. And I noticed in the car ride that Chris and Alexis are not sitting together. And they, at least Alexis, she has this pouty face on. So I don't know what that was about. They're playing this improv type of class and they're engaging in different activities. They look so fun though, those activities. I would definitely play them. So the first activity was trust circle. So everyone will get in a circle, this big circle, and then one person will get in the middle and will close their eyes and walk along the circle and hopefully gain trust that she could walk around and not break the circle or not fall out of the circle. You know what I mean? So that was a lovely trust example or trust icebreaker. Alexis reveals that she does have trust issues, and that definitely rubbed Chris the wrong way. We get to another activity and they play this this like improvisation story activity in which they have to create a story and kind of go along with the same genre based on the start of the story. So that was fun. The next game, I think I'm definitely gonna do this game. The next game was they had to create, so they had to say a sentence. The last letter of the sentence is the first word or the first letter, first start of the word in the next sentence by the next person. So, for example, the cat ate the dog. Now, the next sentence have to start off with G. Is that so fun? I'm definitely gonna do that with my students. Or just me and my man. We're gonna let's play this game. I love games. I love games. Okay, anyway, we move on. Brandon wants more affection from Kiki. The whole time during this activity, this improv, we see Brandon is excited. He wants to participate. And not only is he just like thinking about himself or anything, he wants Kiki to be with him. He's like, let's go. You want to go first? Let's go first. Let's do this. Like he's involving her. He's including her. And this is a sweet moment. But Kiki is not that into it. She feels annoyed. She looks like she's not motivated or excited. She's definitely holding things back. But it's also this sense of insecurity that I'm sensing from her. We learned in the last episode that she still has feelings for her ex and their relationship overlaps her current relationship. So there's that. We get to Clay and Tati. Okay, so yeah, so they're in the car on the way back. Clay and Tati, they're in the back seat. Sorry, my dog's just staring at me. Clay and Tati, they're in the back seat, while Brandon and Kiki, they're in the front seat. Brandon's trying to get physical with Kiki, trying to be affectionate, and she's just not into it. But we see in the background, it's such a juxtaposition. We see in the background Clay and Tati making out, just all over each other, super vibing. And then we see Brandon and Kiki in the front, just that shit was so funny to me. So funny. So we get to the next scene of Kiki talking to Brandon in the balcony. And she's telling him how she feels heightened, how she feels overwhelmed, and that she's not really interested in going first or participating because she feels overwhelmed. He tries to hug her or kiss her, and she still is pushing him aside because ew. I guess she's just not that into him. Oh, this was the crying photo. I meant to show that. My bad, y'all. So that's how ugly this nigga look. We gotta go back to Irving real quick. I'm sorry. I'm not here to tell people ugly or anything. That's not nice. But this one, no, I think what ugly is in this scenario is you trying to play in my face. That's what's ugly. I'm not even trying to talk about his looks. So let's elevate it. Ugly is him trying to play in our face, trying to force these crocodile tears and make it appear as if he's this victim. Sir, this is ugly. So I'm gonna stand by that. Hello? Okay, so yeah, so we get to Kiki, and the focus is on her. The focus is on her in this scene right here. They're playing this dinner table game where they will write down the names of the couple in response to questions that are asked. So some of the questions that I wrote down was, who is the least compatible? Brandon and Kiki got the most votes. Who is the most dramatic? Brandon and Kiki got the most votes. And finally, who has the most secrets? Clay and Tati have the most votes. And if I was Tati, I would feel super embarrassed. I know she's embarrassed about Clay lying about his veganism. But what you really should be embarrassed about is him lying to you about having another 2-week-old baby. Somebody else in this house has a 2-week-old baby. Everyone knows this but Tati. Clay's still trying to figure out the best time to tell her. How you find the best time to tell everybody else but not her? Okay. Brandon and Kiki talk again. Kiki's telling him how she feels like she's in a funk. Brandon's saying, I've been trying. I'm trying my best to meet you where you are, yada, yada, yada. And she says, look, I'm not going to take that away from you. You have been trying. I noticed that. But I think she's just internally, and not even I think, she said this, how she's just been wrestling with this secret of her living with her ex. I think he just moved out. I don't know. I can't remember exactly the results of that. But nonetheless, she still feels in a funk. We get to Ty and Brittany, y'all. We get to Ty and Brittany. So remember last episode, they got into it. And she didn't like how he didn't fix her a drink when she asked. But it was more than that. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because she just feels like he does not consider her. And she is at the bottom of the totem pole. Ty is talking to her, and he is just talking super slow. I want you to know that I want partnership. I want partnership. And his words, his tone, his eye contact hold, all of that is condescending. It's condescending. First of all, who are you talking to? Why are you talking so slow? I could understand what you're saying. I could read your lips. I can listen. My ears aren't dirty or clogged up. What you talking low for? He says, I apologize for my tone, but I don't apologize for what I said. I'm not apologizing for not fixing you a drink. Like, he's missing the fucking point, dog. So Brittany calls him out on it. She's saying to him, so you're apologizing. So you're not apologizing for the words. You're not apologizing for the words that you said to me. He's like, I'm not apologizing for not fixing you a drink. I'm not apologizing. Shut up. So we get to, he's talking about how he feels that she wants him to cater to him, which I find to be odd, because you said you was. Ty, you told her that you was going. They show us clips of you telling her, I'm catering to you. What are we talking about? Did she make that up? Don't tell me you're gonna do something and then get mad when I hold you to it. I remember I was dating this guy. Y'all remember Boston Babe? And he would say things like, "Oh, I gotta take. Oh, I'm gonna take you there. Or I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna take you there." And then when I called him out, I'm like, "How come we never go there? You keep saying you're gonna take me there. You keep getting me excited about, oh, the prospect of me going there where you have taken me." And then when I call you out on it, you talk about, oh, okay, well, so I call him out on it, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm just not gonna say it anymore. I'm just not gonna say it anymore." That's your response to me telling you you're not doing what you said you was going to do? What? And that's what happened with Ty here. He's mad at Brittany for actually believing and holding him accountable to what he said he was going to do. That is some sucker ass shit. That's so whack. It's so whack. He's a sucker for that. That rhymes. Okay, so Britt says she feels, and Britt articulates herself very well. She says before this conversation, she felt she's not a confrontational person, and she was kind of uneasy about talking to him about this. But I think she carried herself very well, very well. So for someone to be uncomfortable with confrontation, she did a really good job. So shout out to Brittany for that. But anyway, she's telling him how she feels he wants to be the class clown, and that's true. And she doesn't think he wants a partnership because you really want to be a class clown. And the way that he spoke to her, she feels that he didn't protect her. She doesn't feel safe with him. Ty saying, what do you want me to do? Fix me a drink. That's it. Yeah, that's it. She cuts him off because he starts talking his slow talk. He continues his slow talking as he's locking in eye contact, just being very kind of condescending with it. She calls him out on it too, and that's what I like about it. She's very calm in her way of articulating herself, but she makes it very, like, I love the way that she speaks and the way that she communicates. It's very effective. She doesn't let her emotions get the best of her. She tells it exactly how it should be. There's no miscommunication. There's no confusion. Ty, instead of actually listening to her, he was defensive. What she's saying is not far-fetched. He's saying to her, he feels like she doesn't take accountability. Oh, it's not just me. You don't take accountability. I want a partnership. This whole time we've been in this house, you haven't considered me. You have not considered me. You want a partnership. A partner considers the other partner. What are we talking about? And what is this whole y'all in these words? Accountability, weaponized. Do you know the meaning of this? Accountability for what? What does Brittany have to take accountability for? Oh, should she apologize for holding you accountable? Hello? Should Brittany apologize for holding you accountable for what you said you was going to do when you would see her in person? Should that be apology? Should that be accountability? Goodbye. So this is the part now when they get to have their guests come into the house and give feedback, give advice. So Ty's brother is the first guest who arrives. And fun fact, we learned that Brittany actually knew Ty's brother for 15 years. What? She knew him, I don't know why. I don't know how, under what context. They didn't get into that. So I don't know if they grew up together somehow or they went to the same school. But she said she knew him for 15 years. But this whole time you haven't met Ty in person? Okay. So she has this very brother-like relationship with Ty's brother. Very comfortable. He's called Smooth. And Britt's mom arrives as well. And I was actually shocked with how she looks because Britt's mom looks very young. Very young. Ty is talking to his brother, delivering him the story about what happened. And of course, whenever people tell stories, they're always going to paint themselves as the victim. So the way that he painted it was made it seem like Brittany was super selfish and Ty felt disrespected. Bro asked him, "Are you ready to quit? You ready to quit?" Ty says, "No, I don't have quit in me." Britt is talking to her mom about the whole situation, saying how she feels undervalued by him. And they finally all come together, all four of them, right? So they come together. The mom, Britt's mom, starts it off by asking a very pointed question. I didn't like the way that she came off. It was very accusatory. And it's not to say that you shouldn't believe your daughter, but I think if you want to create a space where there's openness and comfort, don't start off by saying why. Why haven't you been giving her attention? How about ask it in a different way? How about say, in what ways have you given my daughter attention since you guys been in this house? So he could really look back and think, I actually can't tell you how I have been. Or maybe there were moments when he has, but it stopped. And we could talk about how it stopped. You know what I mean? Like that's more of a productive conversation rather than why haven't you? Why? When you start off like that, that's when it becomes accusatory. That's when it becomes very much defensive. I'm gonna be defensive. I'm gonna sit back. I don't want to talk anymore. Thankfully, Ty was a trooper and reserved himself a little bit. Britt says she will be better because she says she has been cold towards him and she's gonna work on that. Ty apologizes, and it was a genuine apology from what I could gather. He says that he will be more present with her, and the guests leave. So that's fine. We end with Ty. Oh, the second to last scene. Ty is massaging Britt's feet. They're asking questions to each other during this time. Britt tells us, I knew she had a son, but I didn't know that he was only 3. Y'all, okay. She says she's never been in love before. And not only that, she's in love with her son. And that since she's been in love with her son, she realizes she's never been in love before. Can y'all stop abusing this term, in love? You're not in love with your fucking son. What are you talking about? Who's 3? Goo goo gaga. You're so no, you love your son. You adore your son. But that's not in love with. You're not romantically in love with your son. Like, words mean things, phrases mean things, and that's totally just, that was so incorrect and it was odd. We end with Kiki and Brandon yet again. I'm sick of these Kiki and Brandon scenes talking about the same thing, about how she feels overwhelmed and uncomfortable with being vulnerable and comfortable with Brandon. Kiki tells Brandon that she had a fantasy of how this experiment will be, and she thought it would have been fun and lighthearted, but apparently it's not. In the confessional, she tells us again, because she told us before, that her ex, they ended their relationship because of infidelity. And I remember in the last episode, she said that there were so many pregnancy scares. I guess this nigga was just putting his dick in every little thing, whatever. But then the producer asked her, first of all, let's stop there real quick, because I highlighted at one point. Can y'all who are not married stop saying infidelity? Hello? Y'all want to, yeah, it was due to infidelity. Trying to make it sound so serious. He cheated? Is that what it was? Infidelity. Oh, y'all make it sound, y'all just learning words. accountability, weaponizing, condescending, infidelity. I'm just saying, y'all just be infidelity. Shut up, he cheated. Infidelity, you don't use that for a relationship. You use it for marriages. Typically, that's really what it's for. She's asked the question, "Are you still in love with your ex?" And she's saying there, "Why y'all keep asking me if I'm in love with my?" Because you're in love with your ex. You can't even answer the question outright. You're in love with your ex. So she doesn't answer the question. It ends right there. What I find to be interesting is you talk so much about how the relationship ended because of all these things, but clearly it doesn't matter because you're in love with him still. So why even bring it up? Why even bring up all of the pain he caused you when you still ready to be with him and he's still living in your house? Y'all, let me know what you think of this episode. This show is so fun. It's so fun. Let me know what you think. Leave in the comments below. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.